Forest. It houses the biggest and most diverse biodiversity in the planet. If trees have their own little biodiversity within them, a forest is a biodiversity of different trees, both evergreen and deciduous, and a great variety of other species. A home of homes, it is where unique and mysterious population of species can be found. Trees are vital for the Earth's survival. As the oldest living organisms, what a bliss it is that they still exist today. They serve as shelters for many animals. They purify our air, produce oxygen, and provide sufficient materials for construction and paper production. Some trees may also bear fruits for human and animal consumption, but most of them are used as materials for building. We may have tried to decimate them many times without hesitance. The ever-amazing trees have an astounding capacity to recover. Garden. A sanctuary not only to a plantita or plantita but also to a huge variety of flora. The plant species invite rich species of pollinators by providing them food and shelter. Ornamental or botanical, they improve the ecology of an area, reducing water runoff and promote sustainable cultivation.
The plants in the garden absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen from their leaves, which humans and other animals need to breathe. Living things also need varieties of plants to survive, whether for consumption, shelter, or medication. A sight of ornamental plants enhances the emotional and psychological well-being of people. When they are relaxed, positivity within them tends to be cultivated, where deeds and a spirit of environmental conservation are enhanced to protect the site of the beauty that they enjoy. Bees heavily support the growth of plants and trees in the ecosystem. As agents of pollination, they help in spreading and expanding biodiversity by acting as cross-pollinators for some plants to thrive. Besides pollination, they are an excellent food source by augmenting the honey industry. Aside from providing honey, they are excellent contributors to our food supply as they aid fruit trees requiring cross-pollination. Farm. Farm soils are very fertile, endowed with natural fertilizers from animal feces and organic materials. A teaspoon of soil amounts to billions of microbes, nurturing the soil with a deluge of nutrients. It is home to many livestock, animals, and crops.
Animals like carabaos are primarily used for agricultural works, such as cultivating fields, carrying and moving heavy objects, and transportation. Goats are helpful for their milk, meat, fur, and skins. They can also help with weed control. Horses do not only carry royalties at their backs, they also feed on grasses, making way for other plants to grow and thrive. Also, they naturally trample unwanted weeds and plants, which are harmful to the growth of healthy grass and plants. Speaking of royalty, these animals are the true royals, since they are the most highly regarded animals in farms and must be given the respect they deserve. Crops of a wide variety of purpose, they can be harvested for the daily consumptions of humans and animals. They can also be used in textile industries where they serve as materials to make clothing, mats, and sheets. They are harvested for usage in factories and industry as fuel and fiber, and landscape gardens utilize them as ornamental crop to beautify the garden and attract species.
Our localities are indeed blessed with bountiful flora and faunas, each having exceptional places in the food chain and contributing to the ecosystem's equilibrium. We, human beings, coexist and breathe through the life of the earth. We owe the earth our survival, from the soil where we stand, the plants producing oxygen, animals being active companions and aid in agriculture, and even down to the microorganisms keeping up the flow of natural cycles. Biotic and abiotic components work side by side to operate and regulate the ecological community. The organisms benefit from us as much as we do from them. They rely on us to be environmentally conscious individuals and, above all, to look after them so that they may persist to contribute to the balance of the ecosystem.
An extinction of one species more often than not imperils other species, as we reap our daily sustenance from these organisms from the air, water, electricity, and many others. An unbalanced ecosystem threatens our quality of life and our ability to yield food for consumption. Protection and conservation of these organisms foster a salutary environment, a win-win situation where human beings and other organisms can live healthily and harmoniously. So why should these organisms be protected and conserved? Well, what we need to do now is to continue pursuing technological breakthroughs with great awareness and hefty sense of responsibility. In that logic, we need to limit our actions at an absolute level where there is a proper amount of give and take, wherein what we take in is balanced by what other beings give out to not exhaust our resources. The foundation of our relationship with other organisms should lie in building more reciprocity, respect, and recuperation, for even the simplest form impacts human decision in all areas of our progression.
With the rapid decline of natural habitats, preservation of individual species outside their natural habitat, or the so-called ex situ conservation, has increased in significance. Being a subsidiary of native habitats, a strategic maintenance and conservation goal is to fashion a niche that will accommodate wild species. A planetary worldview makes us believe that humans are the most important species, that we may take advantage of the natural resources around thinking that they're unlimited. If we begin to learn and to educate ourselves, we get to ponder upon what truly is happening, that natural habitats are rapidly disappearing and there's a threat on some species getting extinct. As we begin to see the reality, we must take action and bear in mind that we have ethical responsibilities to take care of the environment. The organisms and natural habitats, we are the stewards capable of taking control to conserve and protect our environment.